and introducing other, but who's going first? We're switching in between.
Okay, go ahead.
All right. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the inaugural 2017 Risen Winter Dominate League of Legends game. All right. I am Eldwist, and along with me is our colorcaster and streamer for this tournament, Brizzleman.
Yeah, you got it.
All right. Okay, so, and due to technical difficulties, our game instead for today will be between Team 6 Best and lane pick. All right, team captains for both sides are Salvation Black and the Office US.
It seems like TSB had their captain drop or is not with them anymore, and so Salvation Black is their new captain for today.
Right, and this seems to be early mid lane bans from both sides. Very focused on the lane bullies from TSB, as well as just Orion and an overall power pick from lane pick.
Yeah, it definitely looks a little bit different here. Looks like they're very interested in the mid lane. The mid lane's probably very strong. Again, like I mentioned, TSB's new mid laner took the place of their old captain, and so they're probably some new blood in there. They're kind of worried about that. Haven't really seen how he plays yet. Probably haven't scrimmed them, so just kind of respect bans coming out for problem players, of course. All right. Now, Eldest, do you mind inviting me to lobby again? For some reason, I am out of there.
Yes, it seems that our lobby died, and we are remaking the lobby.
Okay. All
great,
right.
Great first game. You know,
fantastic first game. Yes.
Risen production. You know, one to rival the other great amateur leagues.
It's definitely a lot more difficult to do it when there isn't really you don't have a full production team. So, but one computer is a lot of fun learning how to do it for sure.
For sure.
Yeah. So, Dominate Team, if you guys don't know a whole lot about Risen, it spans 10 weeks. Am I right about that, Eldwist?
I'm sorry?
It's Risen spans about 10 weeks and then playoffs. Is that right?
You are correct. We are going to play for 10 weeks. This is the first week. However, we will be taking 2 weeks off for the winter holidays.
Yep, it's important. Christmas is coming, and yeah.
Great time to evaluate life choices, New Year's resolutions.
Yeah, and those are usually in play for about a month, and that's pretty much it.
A month at most. So we'll be seeing some real interesting gameplay for the first month of January.
Yeah, some people might pick up some new champions, say they want to learn a new champion, and that might be a really fun time to see what kind of picks come out. Who really knows?
All right.
So
for the viewers, it may appear as though bans have been missed by both teams. It is actually due to the fact that the draft phase was already completed by the time we had to set up this replacement game. So the teams are only doing picks for the sake of spectacle, shall we say?
Yes, absolutely. We want to make sure you guys know what picks came out and when, and that's why we decided to do the draft. Unfortunately, we're still having a little bit of technical difficulties with the league clients. I'm hearing from one of the captains that the lobbies are bugged at the moment. So that's a whole lot of fun to try and figure out. So bear with us while we go ahead and do that. We are going to go ahead and do what we can on our side to get everything fixed and going as smoothly as possible. So do you mind going for a quick break? We'll be right back. 1.
And we're back. Okay, so it seems due to the delay, we will go straight into the pick ban phase, and we will just show you what each team has picked, banned, and taken for this battle on Summoner's Rift.
Mm-hmm.
All right, beginning with TSB, they start off with the Jarvan first pick. Great first pick. Nothing much more to say about that now. Lane pick responded with the Yorick and Sejuani now. The Yorick pick is interesting. It's not the most common of picks that you see these days. Berzel, man, what do you think about that?
Well, here's the thing: the Yorick right now, he's in a really good spot. In patch 7.24, Riot said, "Hey, he's a little too strong. Let's dial back his AD about 3." So it went from like 65 base AD to 62. And still, he's tearing up solo queue. He's a great split pusher if left unattended. First of all, he's very difficult to get to 1v1 unless someone's very ahead. And secondly, again, just split pushing. If he takes a Demolish rune, I think he's going to do a heck of a ton of damage to towers. And yeah, there's not a whole lot they're going to be able to do against that if they leave him alone.
Sure.
So I feel like the Yorick can be good. They have the Sejuani and they have the comp to kind of run that 4-1 right now. They have enough peel and they have enough damage. But let's see if they can. If ULP can actually do it the right way, the Yorick's a good pick. Otherwise, he better not fall behind. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah, for sure. Now Sejuani, as you said, great pickup. Definitely synergized well with the rest of this team. Leona Twitch, back to TSB, they're also pretty straightforward. Now, this is where it gets wonky. By picking the Zac, they show that the Jarvan is indeed a top lane pick, and I'll talk about now this Jarvan to Yorick because I believe lane pick just 100% thought that Jarvan was going to be jungle as he is. That is his best role these days.
Yeah,
Jarvan to Yorick.
It's a difficult matchup, one that I can't speak a whole lot about on. I feel like Jarvan has the potential to be able to play more defensively against a Yorick and put a little bit of poke on, but overall, Jarvan, unless he goes tank Jarvan, he's not going to have the health pool to trade with Yorick, and Yorick just has more. He just has more tools at his disposal to deal with a Jarvan. If Jarvan ults, it can quickly become a situation where Yorick's not stuck in the ult with Jarvan. Jarvan just is stuck in the ult with Yorick because he's going to have the Maiden, he's going to have all his ghouls. It's just a problem where Jarvan's going to be afraid to use his ult unless there's a really good gank coming in from Zac.
Alright, so it seems that's how the top lane will be going. Lane pick responds with the Alistar and the Vayne. Now I really like this Alistar pick, really goes against the engage power of the Zac and Leona, as well as knocking the Jarvan outside of his Cataclysm.
Yeah, absolutely. This Vayne is gonna have a lot of peel, definitely with this Sejuani, with the Alistar. Alistar able to either butt people away or again use his WQ combo and just knock them up and allow Vayne an easy condemn or something along those lines. So Vayne has the tools to kind of stay alive and really get ahead, but it really depends on how this Alistar, if he's able to play defensively and able to peel for Vayne, or if he just kind of chooses the wrong thing. Because as a tank, personally, I play a lot of tanks in the top lane, and it's sometimes a really big decision making. Do you use your abilities to peel? Do you use your abilities to engage? And I feel like with Alistar, he's going to have to make those decisions and be very effective with those, as some of his abilities are on a very long cooldown.
For sure. Let's see if lane picks, the big Arise, sorry, not Rise, Emperor's Divide, as well as the Sejuani will be able to make that choice easier for Alistar. Now this is your pick. I've heard that their mid laner Tango Autismo was quite the Azir player.
Yes, he is. Tango Autismo,
no less.
Yeah, he was actually here last split of Risen, and Tango Autismo was a pretty big threat in the top lane. I know that whenever other teams played him, the Azir was actually pretty frequently banned out against him. So let's see if he can make some magic happen and get some excitement going on in the Twitch chat.
Definitely a good lane to watch out for. See if Tango can really really push it on the Veigar, you know? I feel
Oh
like
yeah.
Veigar is like almost a choke pick, really just trying to keep the Azure down, keep him from doing the nutty plays that he's known for.
I have a question for you though.
All right.
I know we don't actually know these teams very well, but as far as the Twitch pick goes, we all know how dangerous a Twitch can be in the right hands and with the right
Ooh,
type
for
of
sure.
engage. Do they have a comp to really do anything with that type of pressure?
No, that is a good question. Twitch is someone that is able to really get those picks. You know, if Veigar lays down his event horizon, that's just boom, easy pick right there. The only person that can really keep Twitch away is Alistair.
Hmm.
Once the event horizon hits. And however, this isn't one of those comps where you absolutely have to rely on Twitch though. The Veigar, definitely great against the Vayne especially. Vayne has that sort of, everybody knows, the tumble into invisibility into another tumble. Can't
Hmm.
really catch that slippery Vayne. Now you lay down Event Horizon, no, stuck in cage.
Stuck in
You
the
got
baby
her.
cage. Yeah.
Yeah. Now you can think of Event Horizon in this case as a second Cataclysm. I really like that from uh, TSB,
Hmm.
and they can really abuse that sort of zone control from their team comp.
No, something that we didn't mention for now though is the fact that Leona has taken Ignite. They're going for a kill lane here.
Ooh, a kill lane.
Yeah, that's a little scary to me. Because again, with, like you said, that Alistar able to just bump the Leona away at a moment's notice. I don't know how much they're going to be able to do, but I guess we'll see.
All right, and once again, apologies for the 36-minute delay, shall we say, at this point.
Oh goodness,
Oof,
has it been that long?
it has been that long. What a journey we have had for that last 36 minutes.
Absolutely. But we will be starting shortly. Players have loaded in. They're actually already playing their game, just sitting on the spectator delay.
Yep,
But in just a few moments, we should be loaded in and we will begin.
yep. Once again, this is the game between Team 6 Best with CRG Meister in the top lane, Salvation Black, now Excision and A in the jungle, 3-8 on Veigar in the mid lane, Professor Chaos with that Omega Squad Twitch looking stealthy, and VO Black on Leona.
All right.
On
And
lane pick, we have the Office US on Yorick, War Bandit in jungle. I'm sorry, did I say War Bandit? I meant Zoe. I'm not looking at this at all. Tango Autismo in the mid lane, NB on Vayne in the AD carry position, and my account is hacked. Pray for him, ladies and gentlemen, on the Alistair.
Yep. And it looks like some of the teams aren't going for the line of defense. A couple people already putting control wards down. Both teams just afraid of that early invade, but neither team really having the tools to really make a strong engage and get a kill. So just kind of playing it safe and making sure that their jungle is safe.
Yep.
All right, and Pink's
Now,
coming out.
pretty standard wards as well in the early game. No team really going for the deep ward, really going to get that early invade going on. And just so, you know, Zach, very weak early game jungler. Sejuani's invade is mediocre at best, I'd have to say.
Mm-hmm.
So both teams want to play it safe in the early game.
Upon a closer inspection, I have decided that the winner of top lane will be Yorick. And here's my
Ooh,
explanation.
all right.
Yorick now has a skin. He's never had a skin before. Now he has a skin, so it's a very easy win for Yorick, in my opinion.
No, I see the point where you're going with that. You know, that is a Dragon Slayer Jarvan. Yorick is not a dragon for you to slay. You know, he is an undead. What do you call those? That job, that occupation in the graveyard.
Undertaker?
Undertaker.
Or is that just WWE talk? I'm not entirely sure.
Alright, it is WW Talk. Here comes the Office US with a steel chair coming to smack down the Jarvan. WWE Talk envelops
Yep,
us
no,
every
you
day.
got it. You got it. Now he's putting out the poke exactly like you had mentioned before. Now Jarvan is able to poke him out. Unfortunately for him, he's not going to be able to keep that up for long, as Yorick does have the sustain currently and still has the mana to continue.
Yep. Oh, and here we see the Alistair going in, trying to get the passive off. Oh, no longer passive. I'm rusty, ladies and gentlemen. I'm an old fart when it comes to this game. When Alistair's AoE damage came from his passive. Right.
Actually landing the Aftershock, that's what it looks like. Alistar did take the Aftershock rune.
Yeah.
So that is where
most of his damage is from. So far.
Definitely does.
Alright, we see Jarvan going with the flag and drag, misses. However, Zac is here for a gank. However, Zac's early game pressure misses the stretching strikes. And that gank will not bode for Team 6 best today.
Sejuani meeting Zac in the jungle.
Yeah. Flag and drag does hit, however he does not have the pressure from his, and look at those ghouls go, really putting into Jarvan, showing you can't push on me. Alright, Sejuani gets the permafrost off, gets the basic hit down. However, a smite from the Zac keeps him healthy and he is able to walk away, along with pressure from his mid laner.
And Veigar a great job of realizing that was what was happening. Unfortunately, Tingo Otisimo is just putting on so much pressure onto him that if Zac isn't careful, he's going to have to do the same thing again.
Oh, for sure. Zac's early game jungle, the new season really didn't help it. And here goes Tingo Otisimo with the first blood, really showing his mastery on the Zero, understanding the weaknesses and strengths of Veigar, particularly in this case the weaknesses.
Veigar just not giving Tingo Otisimo the respect that he deserves. Again, we mentioned at the beginning that this Tingo Otisimo is very, very good on Azir, and now he's just showing it to everybody.
Yep, we will definitely look into maybe some more focus on Tingo in the second game of this series.
Veigar looks like he had TP'd back to lane and is kind of telling Azir, okay, so you have some damage, but now I have some too. As it looks like he bought our second Doran's ring. Isn't the most ideal back for a mid laner, but it'll do in a pinch.
Oh yes. Yep, really trying to keep himself in lane there with that Doran's ring buy. That's up to him to make the buy worth it and not be a further deficit into his bank account. Gold.
Yep.
Oof.
Alright, and we've already got a huge gold lead up on the side of ULP. Actually, if we look at the stats right now, it looks like a lot of the gold is in the hands of the Vayne, and especially the, it's the jungler on the side of ULP. Sejuani is actually out farming the Zac and putting on the pressure as well. And actually, can we take a minute to look at the top lane farm right now? Jarvan is unable to do anything at the moment.
That is amazing. Office US keeping up great with that almost 10 CS per minute. Jarvan just being pressured out by the constant threat of the ghouls. And there they go now. Ladies and gentlemen, ghouls from the WWE coming in. Alright. Alistair tries to get engage off, however, it was stopped by the Leona's shield and sword.
It looks like bot lane's gonna be pretty boring at the moment, and Jarvan's just constant kill pressure at the moment as the ghouls are running on top of him at any moment that they can. It seems that the Sejuani again is putting a lot of pressure in the jungle, already making her way into bonside jungle and trying to follow Zac in to see what camps are up, what's going on. It's a very interesting jungling to say the least, and obviously putting a lot of pressure on the Zac, not allowing him to do what he actually really needs to do. So Alright. Bot lane is going to be hitting 6 soon, but before they do that, it looks like ULP's bot lane, Vayne and Alistar will be backing in order to get some items, as she is currently sitting on about 2,000 gold. See if you can pick up a nice first item there.
Alright, we see her getting the BF sword. Okay, no on-hit Vayne coming in today for her. And as we see the red buff, I am colorblind today, going off to the Azir. Blue buff, I am sorry.
Yeah, a red buff would be quite interesting on the Azir, though. I don't think it... Does it proc off his soldiers? I don't think it does,
I do not believe it does. It
Yeah.
does proc off basic attacks, and his soldiers count as ability damage.
What a
We
shame.
do see the Maiden of the Mist summoned for the Office US, trying to get that little bit of poke in.
I did, and that is a...
That
Yeah.
may be a lack of respect there from the Jarvan.
It definitely
really
is.
damage.
That Maiden of the Mist is still on the Jarvan at the moment, and yeah, that's a lot of damage going on to the Jarvan.
Alright, Tango Autismo really controlling the lane there, almost double the CS right now of his lane opponent.
Like I said, do you remember when I said that the Yorick was going to be a big problem pick? Yeah, this is exactly what I was talking about. Especially into the Jarvan. I mean, it was flexed. I thought, hey, you know, it's flexed. They should play at jungle, but apparently that was not what they were going
Possession
for.
does lock Jarvan in. It's a little bit poked down, but that will be it. Here comes 3-8 though with the roam. Not sure how much he can do into these tankier members of the team. Followed by Exhibition NA, going for the jump in. Gets the flag and drag Cataclysm into... It was just too much damage from the 3-8. Uses the Primordial Burst to finish off the Yorick.
And that's exactly what they need to do, is once the Yorick pushes up a little too far, even if there's a Sejuani there, I mean, they've got to...
Forces flash out from Zoe 1-1. However, no more Cataclysm for the Jarvan. She does live for today.
They're putting a lot of pressure top lane, and I'm not sure if this is quite the right choice at the moment. As Tango Autismo already taking down the mid lane. It's a lot of damage on mid lane already, more than halfway down.
Office missing the Zac by a hair, giving him a free back. However, Office US does have the Sheen completed, so he's really looking to put more damage onto the Jarvan, really get more in those quick trades.
And pretty soon, once he has the Trinity Force completed, that's going to be a huge power spike, obviously, for him. And let's just take a look at this demolish damage, which is just going to be huge. And camera pans away for it.
Yo Black trying to zone a little bit with that Shield of Daybreak. Countess Hack is giving him the respect he deserves. Shield of Daybreak does time out, so respect lost. Just like that. Ooh, has to pop the Unbreakable Woe in order to reduce damage. Twitch goes in for the spray and pray rat-a-tat-tat onto both members of ULP, but the damage not there.
And it's one of those unfortunate things. Alistar is just too tanky, and Zac isn't able to do what he needs to do. And Jarvan in a little bit of trouble here, looks like.
Definitely in the dark position, forced to flash out. However, he may still die for his troubles.
And it looks to be a 1-for-1
from
trade.
the tower.
1-for-1 trade in the top lane.
Jarvan knew that he could not duke it out under just one fair lane fight, so he had to use the extra pressure from the tower to get the kill. But it just goes to show how much early game pressure a Yorick has, especially one that is 40 CS up.
Yeah, I don't know where this lack of respect is coming from this Jarvan, but you should not be EQing in to a Yorick, or he will punish you. And that seems to be exactly what's happening here.
Yeah. Once you have that EQ, you cannot leave Yorick's wall of ghosts, wall of specters, as he just continuously beats you down in the grim fashion that is Yorick.
Alistar might be going down here.
Yep. Down, a Countess Hack does not have the Unbreakable Will, so this will be a kill for Team 6 best.
And it's
They
about
look-
time that Zach play paid off. He seemed to have been going in about, I think it's the third time going in, and this is the first time it's actually had any fruit.
Yep.
So it's a good plays by TSB.
I do have to say it was a great gank by Zach. You know, in the short window that's Breakable Will, Flash, and Exhaust were all down. So they were able to catch a tank without any of his tank stuff up. And here we see the same thing. Catching out a tank without any of his items completed. Jarvan with absolutely zero defensive items. Just melts underneath the pressure of York and Sejuani.
Now it's important to note, interesting play here. Tango Autismo is probably going to make it out of there very easily.
You do see Shield Daybreak hitting onto Tango Autismo. Gets out with this Shrima Drift. All the way back underneath the tower, drifting all the way back to the old days of Azir.
Oh yes.
Back in season 5. Do you remember Easy Hoon? Those were great times.
Oh, I do remember it. It was good days to be alive, for sure.
Really shown us the power of that Azir can really push out. Red going over to Excision in A, just getting that low bit of sustain for the jungle, as well as a little bit of CC pressure for when he does gank.
And look at the amount of damage that he can exert, even under tower. Jarvan is just struggling right now.
Oh yeah, for sure. Now here, this is what I want to talk about. Even though they are currently tied in kills, tied in objectives, everything, Team 6 best is down 2.5k, you know? Each lane is losing in CS, and we'll see if this is too much respect coming out of them or just enough. The Elastic Slingshot comes out, does not hit, however the Cataclysm does. The Dark Possession knocks them both in place. Let's bounce back into the turret, walks out of turret range. However, he may not be able to get away from the double CC combo of Zac and Jarvan.
No, it definitely falls, but you know, at what point do ganks become almost useless? I mean, he's going to get a little bit of time away. Yorick's probably going to TP back to lane at this point if Sejuani doesn't go cover, which does look like she's going to do, but at this point, when you're down 40 CS, one gank isn't going to make that much of a difference, especially when the kill doesn't go to you, but instead goes to your Zac.
Alright. Do you see the...
Oh, and the beautiful plays!
And great Emperor's Divide, knocking both teams back in. However, Zac does have that soda vision. He lives for now, but Tango Autismo gets the kill onto Veigar. And there goes Majin Buu.
It looks like they were trying to position to take away the escape from Tango Autismo, but he quickly turns it around and takes it, says, no, you guys are trying to escape from me, not the other way around. Incredible plays by Tango Autismo.
I think just a great stopwatch, great way to really put the ball back into his side of the course after the Event Horizon kept him in his place.
Fantastic plays by Tango Autismo, and little by little he is showing his worth. Already 4-0. This Azir is going to be a menace if they don't jump on him quick. But I'm not really sure how they're going to, because the Zac can get to the backline, but I'm not really sure if there's any damage dealers that can get back there at the moment. Not with Jarvan as far behind as he is.
Oh, and here we see a gank in from the Sejuani. However, chooses not to use the Glacial Prison as Zac was nearby and it would not have guaranteed a kill.
Looks like they're setting up for Dragon here. With the Dragon being an Ocean Drake, it's a very, very good Dragon to start off with. As we've all seen and know in the past, that Zac is definitely one of those.
Zac is around here. Really looking for the 50-50. However, Alistar knocks him away, perhaps a little bit prematurely, as Zac has not gone in yet and the Dragon was not low. It seems as though Red Team has gotten the Dragon as we watch York take the tower. The first tower. Oh, I'm sorry, the second tower of this game. Already 2 towers. Lane Peck really putting it to 6 best here.
Yorick already exerting his split pushing prowess, going ahead and gonna back here after taking away the control ward rather. And he's already gonna be tough to deal with for sure.
See the blue buff going over to the Veigar, who does cash out the Office US inside that event horizon, keeps him in place while the Zac bounces him back into 6th best. And here we see an engage onto the 80 carry. A great layering of CC, just make sure Vayne stays in her place while Twitch sprays him down. And now they turn onto a counter attack. Still has the unbreakable OO if he does want to pop it. Decides not to, as 6th best do back off themselves. Now we see Tango Autismo come in. That is a Fed Azir as well as the Sejuani. However, they do miss the Glacial Prison. May not have mattered in the end. Emperor's Divide takes 6th best off of that Azir.
We saw just the ability of the Alistar to stay alive. He knew exactly how much HP he had. He knew what his ultimate could negate, what kind of damage it could negate, and just takes just the perfect amount of tower shots in order for his team to capitalize on the Twitch kill and gets out of there safely. Obviously, the Azir roaming was very good. Just overall great communication from ULP at the moment. Looks like they have a lot of vision down also in the bot side turret as they were setting up for drag. Those wards might expire soon as well, but at the moment we just don't really know.
Alright, each lane still up on their respective lane opponents by 40-50 CS, putting that gold lead 4k above what it should be if the CS leads were not there. If you see Professor Chaos go in, Dark Procession keeps him away. Yeah.
And it looks like the Relic Shield gives away the Veigar's position, and very wisely Yorick backs off knowing, hey, this is not something I want to go into at the moment.
Right, good catch there. Alright, Rift Herald does go over to lane pick, so they may look to pressure bot lane with it as it is the last outer tower standing. Is Jarvan caught out by pulverized headbutts into the Sejuani permafrost, into just further layering of CC that he cannot get out of. Ooh, and like here we see Office US going for the 1v2. Gets down a great solar flare from the Leona, keeps him off Professor Chaos long enough for the Twitch to spray down, sending him back to the cemetery from whence he came.
But that's 2 members in the bot lane right now. I mean, what are they going to do with the Rift Herald in top lane? They might lose 1 tower, possibly 2 with the way Tango Autismo is playing here. And that's going to be 1 tower.
Just disappears faster than the eye can see as the Emperor's Divide takes away any chance of him escaping, even with a flash up.
And that's definitely going to be the inhib turret, if not the inhib itself.
Oh, seems Express looking to challenge the inhibitor, however they might have overstepped their bounds as the Rift Herald is still going into it, and it is a 3v4. Zoe 101's taking down a Jarvan. MB is just free firing on the back line. Zac knocked back into the team as cleaning up his low bobs is just a formality, and lane pick looks to end the game here. However, Professor Chaos does have the most gold on the team, and he could be looking for perhaps nothing. And this may possibly be a GG from lane pick, as they are currently 5 versus 1. The base decides to back off. Their jungler and their mid laner are currently too low to be able to sustain another fight.
Man, I wish we had replays, and hopefully soon I'll be able to get that working. But Alistar, incredible, just denying the Zac engage. Perfect timing on his Qs, just knocking away the Zac. Just incredible play from the Alistar currently. You know, say what you will about how fed Tango Autismo is in mid lane, but Alistar currently in the team fights, pretty good to MVP at the moment. Just incredible denying of the CC.
Now, as we see lane pick reset, they're looking to set up for that Baron, but here we see Team Civic's best, you know, making them fight for every inch of that vision that they want. However, Dragon is up in 10 seconds, and that is an Inferno Dragon, so it could be one way for Six Best to come back, or another way for lane pick to close it out.
Remember what I said about Yorick as split pushing? Look at him down in the bot lane on the map. Just
here we go.
Putting huge damage onto the tower with a huge wave of minions, and goes again.
Do you see the rest of his team is going for the dragon? However, Zach has that jump in, and he steals it with the flying smites. Steals 2 members of lane pick as well. And Twitch sprays and prays from the backline. There is no damage onto him, as Tingo Tismo was forced to go into Zhonya. Is not able to finish the kill on Professor Chaos. Heal keeps it out of it. Karek goes onto the Vayne. However, Vayne is too far ahead and Jarvan is too far behind. Event Horizon keeps them away. Flash, headbutt, pulverize onto the Leona, finished off by the Office US with that last rites, as well as onto the Veigar with those Sand Soldiers of his. And here we might see the end of the game for Team 6 Best. And it will be. It is a good game.
GG. Well
GG
played.
for both sides.
Absolutely.
Definitely, definitely.
Fantastic game on both sides of the playing field, but ULP, a lane pick, just showing their prowess in mid lane. Obviously, a stellar performance. 8-0-5 from Tengo Autismo. Again, the Yorick able to perform as the way he should have performed, and honestly capitalizing on the not very good, in my opinion, top lane pick from the Jarvan. So I guess we'll see and hope that the next one is a little bit better, and
For sure.
maybe they can learn a little bit from their mistakes.
That Jarvan pick may have just been a failed experiment on Team 6 Best's part. They tried to make it work, and it seems that it was not able to match up against Yorick's sheer 1v1 split pushing power.
Absolutely, and I guess we'll see what happens next. We're gonna go ahead and take a quick break while we get the next lobby set up, and we will be back very shortly. We'll see you just in a bit. one.
All right, and we are back from Game 1 of the inaugural series between Team 6 Best and Olympic of the 2017 Risen Dominates League.
That's it. Yeah, and
Yep.
we are live in week 1. We just saw a lane pick. It sounds like you're stuttering every time. We just saw a lane pick just absolutely tear apart Bad Intentions, and let's hope the Bad Intention learned a thing or two from last game.
Yeah, for sure. It was I just once again, like you said, like that Alistair pick, you know, really where he needs to be all the time.
Mm-hmm.
You know, kiting when not kiting, peeling when he needs to peel, engaging when he needs to engage. Just really knowing the ins and outs of his champion.
Yeah, absolutely. VL Black definitely going to be someone to watch in this case. His Leona was pretty good as well. Unfortunately, didn't have what he needed behind him to really perform. My account is hacked, just absolutely going off. So well played by both teams. But we'll see what happens in this next game.
Yeah. But also that doesn't go. That's not saying that Team 6 Best just rolled over and died either, you know? Seeing that Veigar putting down Event Horizon, really showing the capabilities of that champion as an alternative to Jarvan's Cataclysm in just as a more commonly occurring Cataclysm, as well as the Zax that's fly over steal from the Zac definitely gave a glimmer of hope over to TSB.
Yep, the teams are just determining their ban loss, as it seems like one of their players was an E-sub, but as per Risen rules, emergency subs are no longer considered emergency subs necessarily after the second game. After the first game, they're just late subs, as they've had time to scout, they've had time to actually see the player in action, so they're now just considered late. So both teams will lose a ban for this, as they both have a late sub, and they will they're going to start their draft now.
Right. First ban, since this is game 2, ULP starts on the blue side now, and they do get first ban as well as first pick.
And I believe that they're going to be forfeiting just their first ban, just to get it out of the way. That way they don't really show anything that they're kind of dealing with. By the way, we also have... we actually have a second caster, or a third caster with us today.
Alright, introducing the caster, live from the slopes of Targon. The most broken champion, said so by Faker himself. Introducing Zoe.
Zoe, the Star Child. The jump everywhere does 1,000,000 damage every about 3 seconds. So she's with us today.
Yep.
I really wonder what she'll have to say about everything else, but yeah, she's a quiet one. All she does is really she puts people to sleep. That's how exciting she is.
For sure.
So.
And she is the streamer for this match. So
yep.
All production issues are courtesy of Mount Targon and Mount Targon Incorporated.
Yep. So we're not EU production. We're not NA production. We are Mount Targon Productions. So just make sure to remember that in the chat.
All right. We do get it is hard to get good internet up on the slopes of the mountain, you know?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
Alright.
So it looks like the Jarvan has been banned out. Even though it wasn't very effective, they just said, hey, we're not going to pick him first, so we're just going to ban him out and make sure that Bad Intentions doesn't get a hold of him. Yep. So, also decided that the Veigar wasn't a really good pick, I guess. What do you think about that?
Yeah, well, I think they realized the same thing as we did, that the Veigar's Event Horizon was just a secondary Cataclysm, and they wanted to get rid of any reminder Cataclysm that they can. First pick, Yorick coming in for ULP, as well as an instant lock-in of Sejuani for Team Best 6. Team 6 Best.
The Yorick worked so well. I mean, why change it? You know what I mean? Like, it worked well. Good first pick, I think. and they were able to play around it. So he's really strong right now, even with the nerf. I don't know. They've got to keep a constant tabs on him and able to maybe play a range champion up top, and maybe, maybe I'm just trying to figure out
Once
what in
again.
the world.
All right, here we go. Once again, Tango Autismo. Just have to wonder what TSB are thinking, giving the 0 back over again after that beatdown. And sure, so I bet Tango Autismo knows what to do against Oriano.
What are you doing? The Yorick screwed you over. The Azir screwed you over, and you still ban out the Talia and the.
The
Is it?
Alistair. Oh my goodness.
Are we gonna have a repeat game? It looks like we're gonna have a repeat, except for the. Oh, we have a Shen pick. Oh, I like this game already. I'm gonna have to cheer for Bad Intentions. I'm gonna have to. Shen's
Ooh,
my
not
bae.
bad intentions. It is now team 6 best.
Oh goodness, it is Team 6 best. Goodness me.
All right.
Mount Targon Productions, everyone. Mount Targon Productions.
All right. So Shen looks to be the, as well as Orion, to be the new picks for this game. Once again, another ban given over for free. It seems that not INT, Team 6 Best aren't sure what to ban out after those power picks your Alistair were taken.
Yeah, I guess they're trying to figure out in the league chat what ban that was. And as soon as we figure that out, we'll definitely let you know. Or if they've decided to forfeit that ban altogether.
All right. We see a Leona ban coming out from ULP. I think that ban was warranted after Leona showed us what she can do, just shutting down the engages that's they were trying to put out.
Yeah, I mean, there was one play in bot lane around on blue side's tier 1 tower where Alistar got, or I'm sorry, yeah, it was Alistar, just shut down for about a good 5 seconds with the E, with the ultimate from the Leona, and her Shield of Durand keeping him there. It's just, he couldn't move for about, almost 5 seconds, and that was plenty of time for them to blow up the Vayne. So it's just one of those things where if Leona's still on the field, she brings great CC to the table and is incredibly tanky given the right situation. So good ban coming out from ULP.
We see another Twitch pick from TSB. Twitch definitely worked last game. However, now ULP can pick their ADC, might pick something that can work well on Twitch. On a side note, Misfortune was banned out. Really, one of those Flavor of the Month champions, really good right now in this lethality meta.
Oh, absolutely.
Ooh,
Yeah,
now
that's
this is something.
Yeah, these are spicy picks coming out from ULP. Finally picking something a little bit different. Picking out the Tristan and the Xin Zhao. Xin Zhao for sure with his ult, definitely going to be one of those that Twitch can't touch when he's going rat-a-tat-tat. So.
And definitely recent numbers have shown, recent studies have shown that if you have a case of a Xin Zhao in the jungle, you will have a bad time.
That's very true. That hasn't been the case for my solo queue games, but I understand where you're coming from. Xin Zhao has been tearing it up in my games recently, but hopefully it'll be a little bit different for TSB's sake. But you do realize what a Twitch and a Shen means, right? We have a very nice potential for a submarine play, so hopefully they can get that going. So.
Submarine play, and Nami Nami can really provide the waves for that submarine,
Oh, very nice. I do like that.
All right, looking TSB really going for that role play lineup. As I do like the Nami pick though. Once Xin Zhao goes in with that audacious strike, he can't go anywhere. He has a flash audacious strike that can go in, but he can't go out. Xin Zhao really a man's champion. Really putting it to them.
And it really seems like the only Seems like the only peel they really have is, again, Xin Zhao, maybe just putting out enough damage to scare them away, and the Alistar headbutting, and then the Shurima Shuffle.
Yep.
That's it. So, but
A
TSB also
powerful
doesn't.
Shurima shuffle.
Yeah, but TSB also I feel like doesn't have really the kind of engage that they need to counter something like this. So I don't know. It's really up for grabs. I feel like there's going to be a really interesting game in the top lane. Shen is able to counter Yorick, not counter. He's able to survive Yorick, but he's not going to have a fun time, and he's going to have to try to save that taunt and use it purely defensively unless he's got a gank coming. So this could snowball very quickly out of control for the Yorick once again. Playing a tank again into a Yorick, it's just not a good time.
Now, I like to think unless this game goes like this game's lanes, unless this game's lanes goes like last game's lanes, where Tango Tizmo proves that he doesn't need anybody. He's a lone emperor.
Oh,
unless it goes like that, I believe the jungle matchup this game will be very important, seeing as since Ao can get the level 2 engage, Sejuani can get the level 2 engage. It's really up to both teams to see which team's jungler can be more proactive and which team can survive that provocativity. That's not a word.
May not be. Sorry, I have little kitty here, and she is being very annoying. So I guess she wants attention. Oh well.
All right, we can give her attention. Show her to stream.
Lots of love. Yeah, this is for the stream to know. This is Mimi. She's very excited to be here, clearly, and yeah. So yeah, people will hear a lot about her. Hello. So Mount Targon Productions. Welcome. So again, Risen Esports guys. Don't forget to Twitch clip your favorite moments and post them up. There should be videos coming out soon. We'll try to make something happen for sure. So make sure to send your Twitch clips over to our admins, and XT is definitely doing a lot of work for that. So
shout out to our admin team, by the way. Absolutely zero brown nosing here. Just the best admin team in the world. Nothing wrong with them. Great people. Yep.
So if you get banned off the Discord server, you know exactly why. This is the moment that it happened.
I know when we're all went downhill for me then.
Yep. So just one last thing that I'm wondering about is that Tristana pick. We know that she can put out the damage and she has the rocket jump to get in and out of situations, but judging by the way that the Vayne played last game, is this Tristana going to play offensively, defensively, a nice mix in the middle, or is she going to have to just kind of run away because there's not enough peel? What do you think?
I do have to say the Tristana is a little different from Vayne in that sense, but I can't really talk about much based on the experiences of the past game, because from what we saw in the past game, unless it was in a small skirmish, MB was just hardly touched. When in those huge team fights, you can see you saw the Vayne just free firing off to the sideline. And while Vayne does have the tumble, very very low cooldown, very convenience positioning reset, Tristana does only have that one rocket jump, so it is up to MB to really save that rocket jump for the crucial moment in order to replicate what he did last game.
Yeah, I guess we're gonna have to wait and see. So, spectator delay almost finished here, so we'll be jumping into the game in just a minute or two. And yeah, this will be definitely an interesting game. Do you think that ULP is going to be able to close out game 2, or will we be seeing a game 3?
Ooh, now You know, as casters, we always love to see the game go distance.
Oh yeah.
Really, everybody putting everything on the line. You can see when the tensions are high, when everybody is on that tightrope wire,
Mhm.
just who will fall and who will succeed.
Mhm.
It's great to watch those moments.
Absolutely.
However, for the sake of my sleep schedule, I do have work tomorrow, so I would love to go to bed early.
I totally understand. I'm gonna have to give this game. Oh man, uh, I really want TSB to win this. I really want Team Six Best to take this, for the sake of the submarine. I mean, that is just it's one of my favorite things to pull off in League. It feels really good, um,
Yeah.
but judging by the way that Lane Pick played last game, um, if they play the Yorick the same they did last time, this is going to Lane Pick, I think. Not to say that I don't want Team 6 to win, but, you know,
Yeah,
it's one of those you just kind of have to figure it out. I don't know.
I, I would want to say that once Team Six gets ahead, if they do get ahead,
Hmm.
um, their path to victory would be a lot easier than it would have been last game.
Hmm.
Xin Zhao from behind, I know from experience, can can't do what he is meant to do. If
Hmm.
you can get that Twitch behind, you just have to respect the whole map. You never know where the Twitch is, and this time a Shen along with it.
Hmm. I feel like the Azir he's going to have a little more trouble in this game. Not more trouble, but I feel like he has to be a little bit more careful. Just for the fact that the Shen is in play. Shen does have that 2-second taunt. Um, and if I feel like without that mobility, without Azir telling his soldiers to attack, might become a little bit of a problem. So let's hope it doesn't happen. Clearly, but we also have to be a little bit careful about that.
Now we are in game two of Team Six Best versus a lane pick.
Hmm.
Lane pick starting on the blue side this game. Team Six Best starting on red side, and we have a pause coming in. Not quite sure what has happened between the teams. Perhaps disconnection issues.
Hmm. Yeah, definitely might
Um,
be. Somebody might have been disconnected. We're definitely gonna try and check and see what's going on here, uh, and see which player didn't make it. Of course, we are in a little bit of a delay, so it's very possible that 3 minutes later they're already getting the show on the road. Of course.
yeah.
All right.
And it seems that the pause will resume. Perhaps a little bit of internet connection issues quickly resolved by whichever ISP provides their internet. Shout out to the ISPs. Please don't ban our internet. All that net neutrality going around. Okay, this time we see Ellen Pick not going for the line of scrimmage, but instead choosing to go further in to the blue side of Team 6 Best. And seems Vio Black does see them coming in as well as the ward from 3/8, and they're able to back off without anything lost. Alright.
A little bit of an early trading going on. Tango Tismo not too far chunked, especially with Oriana missing her balls, but that's all right.
Yeah, you provide a good point. Tango Tismo, he will have a harder lane this time than Veigar. Orion known for quite high skill ranges, along with the fact that Azir's ranges have been changed in the latest season, just before the latest season, to become something more of a mid-range mage.
I feel like
And we
that's
do see that poke coming in.
I feel like that's been okay though from Tango Tismo. He seems to be adapting well to the changes. Very hard leash coming out for Zoe, and her doing a great job of clearing that a little bit quickly. So she's a couple of seconds ahead of the Sejuani currently, which is probably expected versus a tank jungler.
We see a little bit of poke going down, and we do see Zoe invading the blue side of Excision A at level 2. However, 3A is there to help. Oh. Zoe forced the flash before the permafrost sets in, freezing him in place as the camera pans over to top lane. 3-8s come in from the left side, while lane pick decided to go on Professor Chaos here to take advantage of the rest of the team focus onto the jungler. Gets a little bit of poke down.
Was a good thought. It was a very good thought by Xin Zhao. You know, going into the enemy jungle, but unfortunately was met with the Sejuani and decided to go on.
Ooh, here we see MB deciding to go all in here. Ignite burned as well as the explosive charge, however, was not enough to take down Professor Chaos or his heal. As in this case, you know, it's looking more difficult for lane pick to get ahead. You know, 2 summoners burned for just about nothing.
Good job staying alive by Professor Chaos, doing a great job in lane, backing up when needed be, and of course Nami with her heals, just again keeping him nice and healthy.
And here we see the Shen go in, definitely doing better than the J4 did last game. However, the York damage is still there, as well as the fact that he went corrupting potion. So this poke from Shen might not stick for a long time.
No, definitely not. And on top of that, let's not forget that he had no ghouls at the time. If he had any ghouls, that trade would have been a lot different for the Office US.
Ooh, a lot worse.
Yeah.
Shen keep up better in farm than he did at this point last game.
Taunt used defensively or offensively, and seems to be getting out okay, realizing, hey, no ghouls available for Office US, this is a trade I can definitely win.
That's great. That Spirit's Refuge really coming in clutch. A little bubble comes down onto NB, too far out of range for anything to happen though. And we see the engage, the Glacial Assault onto Tenko Tesmo, gets down 2 stacks, 3 stacks of the Permafrost, 4 stacks, does not set in the Permafrost as he is too far under turret, comes up ahead. Headbutt Pulverize coming down on Professor Chaos, jump in. Great 2-man bubble out of BO Black. However, Professor Chaos decides to go back in for a little poke. Doesn't realize the damage potential of this bot lane and takes more than he was expecting.
Might have been a little more than he was expecting, but not enough to take him down, and he knows it. Especially with Nami heals, he knows he can afford it.
For sure. However, he might not be able to afford this this loss of minions. Already down almost 10 CS on the Tristana. Will have to back later if he wants to BF sword or back at the same time and get less combat stats.
Absolutely, Tristana doing a great job outranging it. Zoe coming in for the gank.
Yep. Getting 1 hit. And that will be all for today in top lane. Seems that Shen's is able to just outrun the Xin Zhao.
And actually press the attack. Speaking of the rune that Xin Zhao is running, press the attack. It actually received a bit of a nerf. Really, it was more of a bug fix, but it was an unintended nerf. What ended up happening before is press the attack was proccing on the 3rd hit, and now they've fixed it so that it's only after the 3rd hit. So after you've hit them 3 times, then they're vulnerable. Whereas the 3rd hit was hitting the invulnerability. So Xin Zhao putting it together a really nice 3-hit combo. Unfortunately, usually is not going to be able to press the attack any longer. So that's robbing him of a little bit of damage in patch 7.24.
Yeah. And I believe if this was the last patch, the Vayne from last game could have gone even more than she did this game, you know? The silver bolts would have procced. I don't know how 12% additional damage would work with true damage, but it sure does sound scary.
It definitely does. Looks like Alistar is waiting for the right time to go in, and he might see it right now in the bot lane. But
Alistar looking, the rocket jump comes in early before the headbutt pulverize, and you know, thankfully for lane pick, the Giovanni was further away, or else that may have been just a regretful decision from NB.
And once again, we are seeing about a 1k gold lead already on the side of ULP. Looks like they're just farming a little bit better at the moment.
We see an emote coming out from Office US, showing his confidence in this lane and his Yorick play.
And the ghouls come out.
Hits the Morning Mist, gets that poke down onto Shen, forcing the Shadow Dash out for his own safety.
And you see how much pressure that exerts. I mean, sure, 2 abilities down the drain for Yorick, but he now has the whole lane to himself without any pressure from Shen whatsoever. And here it is.
Once again, another one, and this time Dark Precision as well. Another Shadow Dash out from Shen.
Luckily, he saved that taunt for defensively this time. But once again, if he had not done a defensive that time, it would have been a bad thing for him. It would have been real trouble.
Bad time.
Tango Autismo definitely having a little bit of a harder time than he did against Veigar, but still.
Here comes the goals again. However, this time it seems Shen's Bomby Cinder is really taking down the ghouls faster than the ghouls can take him down. Take down Shen. Zoe 101 providing some pressure to bot side. It doesn't seem that Team 6 Best is aware that he is here, however, as they look to position for Dragon. Ooh. Shockwave dissonance. Shockwave dissonance. Command Shockwave down onto Zoe 101, as well as the Stand United coming out from the Shen to join his teammates for the Dragon fight. As Office US pops that ult, gets the Maiden of the Mist to try to secure first tower.
And if Shen's not careful, pops that Stand United gone from lane, and here comes the damage from the Office US. Already has Prox's Demolish, putting out huge damage with his Maiden, of course, onto the tower. Shen's now here, not going to be able to take down the tower quite yet, but
gets the taunt down, gets a little bit of poke back on the Office US using that power. However, even with the tower behind him, Shen is at best going even in that trade. We see 3A putting a little bit of poke down onto Tango Autismo. With the Lost Shepherd completed, definitely has a little bit more sustain to keep the 0 away while keeping his mana bar healthy.
Definitely looks like we've got a bit of a gold lead, swinging even more so on the side of ULP.
Oh, and a smites onto the Mountain Dragon from Zoe 101. However, does not have flash, so he will pay for this dragon with his life.
And First Blood going over to Professor Chaos onto the Twitch. Probably one of the best things there for them to do. My account is hacked. Maybe could have communicated a little bit better. Maybe had a little bit more damage done onto Professor Chaos and the Nami, but at the moment, decided they're not going to do so. Envy, great trade onto Professor Chaos. Chaos has to blow flash.
Back coming up from the back side. Misses the bubble, forcing the explosive charge out of. Great taunt by Shen. Closing the gap even after Tristana gets out with a flash, as well as the rocket jump buster shot.
They're going to pay for it, though, with an 11-minute first turret from Yorick. And all that gold's going to be in his hands currently. He currently has the most gold in-game, racking up a total of 4,200 gold at the moment. So, and with 1,000 gold in his hands, we'll see what he comes back with after he backs. It does look like the ULP or TSB is going to respond with bot lane turret, putting 4 members in there. But it
however, they were not able to get the turret down.
Not enough damage. And another turret looks to be almost going down from Tango Autismo. You know, this isn't really looking good for ULP. You would have thought that they would have, you know,
They
sort of.
would have been further ahead at this point, yeah.
Yeah.
I do have to look at the Xin Zhao jungle as one of the factors that is keeping UOP further behind than they prefer, and the smite comes out of Excision and A stealing the Rift Herald, however is not able to get to Rift Herald themselves. Shen comes in with Stand United, gets the Rift Herald off the Shadow Dash, and Zoe 101 is too far in for his own liking. Tango T-Zone comes in, looks for the Shurima, however is stunned by the Glacial Prison, cannot get further in as 3-8 was really putting out the damage. And the taunt comes in, Shadow Dash comes in from the Shen.
Tingo
as well as
Tizmo
Permafrost.
does go down.
As well as my account is hacked. So in the end, a very, very good fight for TSB, getting a 3-for-1 as well as the Rift Herald steal.
And you know what? This puts them back in the game finally. If you think about it, look at the gold lead. It's now back in Team 6's hands. They've done a good job of that, and then with this mid turret that they will absolutely take this time, they're definitely going to see a huge gold swing in their favor. So we'll definitely see what happens. It's really in the hands of Yorick at this point. If he can split push consistently and into his liking. But look at that demolish damage coming in.
Yeah, if we do see the gold, most of that gold lead is on the Yorick now, if any. And here we see Professor Goyos going in for low hits. The Shen taunt coming in from the other side. Bio Black is there to make sure his carry stays safe. Bubble lands, and there is no more Yorick and no more Maiden. Professor Chaos really going in for that underwater sub following up from the other side.
I'm starting to think that the way that ULP is going to pull this off, if they can at this point, is really just by Yorick split pushing and just staying alive in the other lanes. But if he keeps dying, that may not be the case.
I do see another turret going down in favor of Team 6 Best. However, they are still down one turret overall. Haven't managed to pop that top turret yet. Yorick did a very good job of keeping that healthy.
Absolutely. Shen isn't really known for his turret taking abilities in the first place, and Yorick just pushing wave like only Yorick can. Shen did do virtually anything to that turret, so definitely in the hands of TSB though in the moment, because although Shen couldn't have taken the 2 turrets, he definitely sits at 2 kills and 4 assists, whereas Yorick sitting on his massive farm, but that's it. That's all he has in the moment.
Yep. And even if we take that massive farm into account, he is actually 1,000 gold ahead of his lane opponents. So most of that gold is on the Yorick, as every other lane is behind from the side of ULP.
Absolutely. Twitch doing a good job of staying in those back lines. He is getting appealed for, which is a pretty big thing. So Twitch actually just sitting in the bottom lane, farming it out, and grabbing some of that farm that he couldn't do so in lane before.
Right. Do you see Zoe 101 clearing out one of the control wards, trying to get the vision control as the Inferno Dragon spawns? 3-8 going for a bit of poke, and here comes Team 6 Best from both sides. Command Shockwave onto 2.
And Envy is already out of the fight. Zoe 101 is going to go down.
Yeah, 3-8 might be following suit as he gets stuck in the wall for a second. Tismo coming in from Silent, just free firing as Countess Hack tries to zone off the back line of Team 6 Best, forcing the Shen to flash out as the Sejuani also Glacial Assaults away. Tango Tismo is not done yet, however, as he takes down VO Black in the chase. Dark Possession lands on the Twitch, forcing a flash. However, the Contaminate is enough to take down the Yorick, expunging all the life out of him as the remains of Team 6 Best run as their carries are too low to continue.
Now my account is hacked. It does have Moby boots, so he is most assuredly catching up with Excision at the moment.
that is a Winter's Wrath coming out of the Sejuani, slowing down the Alistar enough to just assault away.
And it was a long chase, but unfortunately wasn't fruitful. Zoe 101 now trying to take dragons by herself, but there is
Ooh.
TP coming in, and she's gonna have to back off.
A good TP to save the ward, as now TSB take control over the river area. Professor Chaos looking to get some poke down. However, Zoe 101 does go in with the Crescent Guard, but it's not enough. Professor Chaos's damage is too much for him. And this will be a dragon going over to Team 6 best.
Oh, it looks like the leash didn't...
In 1 second. There it is.
This is looking worse and worse for ULP. And still, with 10 kills on the side of Team 6, lane pick seems still be ahead in farm and gold. And is that's actually mostly in the hands of that Yorick, who's sitting at a total of 7,200 gold already. Next highest is Azir with Tango Autismo sitting at 65.
We see the tidal wave going, stops the rocket jump in mid-flight. However, NB has enough damage from the explosive charge and buster shot to take down VO Black and gets a reset on the rocket jump as Office US teleports on the backside and punishes the bot lane of Team 6 best for threatening the death of his ADC.
Great job by that Yorick, just realizing, hey, this is my job. This is what I'm supposed to do.
Oh yeah, I do have a team. Let's go help him.
Yeah, and you can see how much he can actually do in that situation.
Yeah. However, the maiden is still alive, so this might be another turret for a lane pick.
Yeah, absolutely.
And they do lack the damage to clear this wave out. Orion is still half a lane away. Alright. Oriana looking for a hopeful gank here. Gets the flash, not a flash, a rocket jump out of NB as the double shockwave into the double Shentons takes down the Office US and a Alistar as well.
That is one tanky Alistar. 5 members of the team take him down, and lane pick is just saying, okay, well I get it, but we're now gonna leave because
Definitely making work for it. Professor Chaos looking for the stealth. Here he is, and with something that you can't wash off. It seems though you can drift away from it.
absolutely.
As Tangotismo saves both summer spells for just about nothing.
Slowly but surely the towers go down, and no matter how many kills you get, the name of the game is destroy the Nexus. So lane pick seems to be ahead of them in every way. They're grouping up, they're taking down split pushers, but just not enough pressure to actually take down turrets. As lane pick goes and rotates up top, knowing that that's where the pressure is going to be, Azir
the last
is
outer
there.
turret.
Yep, Azir is there, and he's going to be defending this outer turret.
Yep. Ooh, do you see a poke coming down from that EQ from Oriana? Tidal wave comes out to try to separate the team from the Alistar's engage. Gets the permafrost down, as well as the spray and pray. That damage just knocks through the Alistar, no matter how tanky he is, and it will be a turret going over to Team 6 best. Ooh, the shockwave comes in, executes Tango Autismo. However, NB is free hitting backline. Great glacial present to stop the assault onto his mid laner. However, is not enough. Gets the reset on the rocket jump to undersave this turret, and the aftershock cleans up the Tristana. However, this whole time, Office US just he really knows the name of the game is to get to that tower, that Nexus.
Absolutely, it doesn't matter how many kills you get. It's all about. It almost seems like the other teams are just sitting there and
VO Black. Ooh.
Office US showing them who's boss in the top lane. Looks like he's actually going to get this inhibitor. Shen doesn't seem like he's going to be able to do anything about this.
This is perhaps the worst possible situation for Team 6 Best right now. A missed shockwave on a Yorick that 2 people can't stop. They will, if they want to stop this Yorick, they'll have to relegate one of their main carries to the side lane, taking away half their damage from team fights.
Oh, and it looks like ULP is actually going for the Baron. This is one tricky play here, and it looks like they're going to back off because they know that there's way too much vision around there at the moment.
Ooh. My account is hacked. Did not get a stop. Has back stops.
Yep, not sure exactly why that is. It looked like it was one of those like kind of a same time left and all that. So
you see Yorick back into the side lane.
And you saw the respect that Shen finally gave as soon as he shows. He says, "You know what?
This is a great time for TSB to go in. Yorick does not have the teleport, so they are able to get the damage down. However, Tango Tismo does come in. Shockwave knocks him away, but the other way. Barrier comes in to stop the tidal wave damage, and is able to dash himself away. Headbutt Pulverize finishes off 3/8. Dark Precision does not lock Shen down, so he's not forced to waste a Shadow Dash. And he is able to clear out these schools with relative safety. However, might even just lose a next turret for this, and he does. The Shen taunt comes in too late.
This is definitely one of those games where I'm just kind of sitting here going, what are they doing? They're fighting over a tier 2 and they lose a Nexus turret for this. This Yorick is too fed at the moment.
It takes 3 in the end, but the Yorick does go down. However, the Dragon does go over to a lane pick, so overall still a win for them.
It's insane what lane pick is doing. They give one place and they take in another, and they always seem to come on top. That's why the 17 kills doesn't seem to phase them. They're able to execute the macro game pretty well, and it looks like they're actually going to be able to rush this Baron down with not a problem.
Baron goes down too fast for Team 6 Best to challenge. The smite wasn't even used by Zoe 101. That just shows the amount of confidence he has in the pressure they have on the map.
No, see, I understand the whole pressure thing, but it's almost as if it's cockiness, almost like they know. It comes off as a little arrogant. Like, I feel like you should still be using your smite because even with their comp, like, I don't know, they didn't really have any vision over the wall as far as I know because of that control ward. They really should have just gone ahead and done it. But what do I know? I mean, they've already gone ahead and they're winning the game, right? And it looks like the Nami is going to be caught out here by Tango Autismo.
Shuffle into the Shurima divide onto VO Black, and he is done. However, Tango Autismo may have been too far up when he dived in. The Twitch is free firing, gets down. My account is hacked to force him to use the ultimate. The slow comes in from Rento's Wrath, and down goes the Alistar.
And look at bot lane again, and there is the Yorick. It's like Zoe 101 is just here to stop the backs. That's all he's here for. And he's gonna take down. Is he?
Seems like the Office US was able to solo him under a turret as NB takes down Sejuani. Fort, however, the Twitch and the Shen are back, forcing Yorick to respect the presence of the Twitch.
And while Yorick takes the attention of 3 of the members, Tristano's able to take another turret. So that's one more turret on the side of ULP. They're coming back in this.
The presence of this Yorick is too much for Team 6 Best to handle right now. They only have 5 members, and they have to keep 2 or 3 of them on the Yorick itself. What can you do with the other 4? Against the other 4.
And what was once a team that was on the offensive, getting picks, and just destroying other teams, is now a team on the defensive. The Office
Let me
US
see,
may have been
Office
caught
US
actually.
He has been off more than he can chew, and he has shown he can fight off 2 members, maybe even 3 members, but not 4-member Team 6 best.
And it looks like even with Baron, they're not able to do what they were once able to do. So
Real Black really wants Zoe 101 here. Misses the bubble, forces the ultimate out of Zoe 101, gets a tidal wave to knock him up, but no damage coming out. Permafrost sets in, and damage from Professor Chaos finish off the Xin Zhao. My Chaos Hacked is forced to pop the ultimate to try to keep his health bar steady. Finds a Shen the other way, knocks him in, and he might get a trade kill back for his carry. Maybe not so. Professor Chaos runs down the Azir.
in total a 4-for-1 trade for
A glimmer of hope,
for Team
perhaps
SB.
for Team.
You know what? This game is absolutely not over. They've got all 3 inhibs up currently, and they don't really have. And Shen, seeing that he's spotted, quickly taunts over the wall and says, "Nope, I'm out of here."
Sejuani goes in on the MB, only gets 1 stack on the Permafrost. Shockwave also misses, and they only get a rocket jump for their troubles.
Yeah, Orianna playing the way as she should be, playing in the back line, using that ball to her advantage, and ultimately throwing down the shockwave. It
But
was
we do see that ball on only a 50-second cooldown, so for the sake of every team fight, we have to assume it is up.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And
Blue
with
buff
the blue
going
buff
over to
as well,
Orianna.
so that's another 10% cooldown reduction as well.
Yep. The man also helps. Permafrost sets in on Xin Zhao, gets a little bit of damage down. Shen ultimate, however, it may not have been needed. Their Team 6 best looking to keep Yorick on the back foot for once, opening up the map a little bit for them to be able to roam in more than just top and mid lane. Morning Mist stops the backup position NA. It seems to just be a base on the Office US. Permafrost is not set in. There was not enough mana for Sejuani to proc it, as Yorick summons the Maiden of the Mists in order to make this 2v1
plan.
or 2v2.
He's 2v1ing, and look what's happening in the top lane. Azir sets up his, and he's just stopping the backs. That's really all he's doing at this point.
With that Dark Precision, he might just finish off the Sejuani here. She has no mana for another Arctic Assault. She has no mana for a Permafrost. And as Yorick lands another Dark Precision, Team 6 best is forced to put 3 of their... Ooh, and a great Shockwave onto Tegotismo, forcing him into a Rat-a-tat-tat as Professor Chaos takes on 1, 2, and 3. Both carries of lane pick are dead, as Yorick is forced to walk away. The pressures in the other lane's gone.
And that's what I wanted to see from Twitch, finally, is that wombo combo composition. Zoe trying to take a Mountain Drake, really for the sake of Yorick at this point, as he's going to just try to go in, maybe try to zone them off, and he's going to do massive damage. Massive damage.
Here comes the tidal wave, looking to focus on Zoe 101, gets down 1 hit from a Permafrost, 2 hits, 3 hits, 4 hits. Permafrost sets in, and Professor Chaos just firing away. That 13-1 Twitch, too big for lane pick to handle right now.
Absolutely, but can they push down turrets? That is the question.
This, contrary to last game, this game has really gone back and forth. You know,
definitely. I mean,
Team 6 best definitely showing that they still had fighting spirit in them in the early game, but lane pick showing that they had the better draft. However, Team 6 best are not down for a count yet. Still have some fight left in them.
Oh, absolutely not. But at this point, it's looking pretty slim for lane pick. They have to execute their plan pretty consistently, whereas Team 6 best has to just do what they do and play around the Twitch, which is a lot easier to do than just trying to stall for a Yorick to try and push. He's in the bot lane already pushing, but You can expect them to go answer him at the moment.
Ooh, and here we see lane pick just putting Team 6 Best between a rock and a hard place. Do you want to give up the Baron, or do you want to give up an inhibitor again? It seems that Team 6 Best say why not both? We can stop your Yorick as well as your Baron attempt.
But look at what Yorick is doing. He's thinking, hey, if I can pull them away from Baron for just a little moment longer and force them to bring 2, maybe 3 members of the team here,
Chaos going.
They can start the Baron. And look at what he's doing.
Yorick is dead. However, the Baron may be as well, and dead for lane pick. However, a steal comes in from Exhibition and Nay, getting Baron on 5 members. Zoe 101 gets nothing as he is forced to blast cone out of there. And this just may be the turning point.
This is definitely when this game turns around. Even with the amount of peel, even with Alistar trying to keep the Sejuani off, with her frost armor, able to just have that little sliver of hope. And this is what I was talking about not smiting the Baron. It might have seemed like a good idea before, but you know what? Don't do it before you start getting used to not needing it because you think you're rushing it and you're fine, and you gotta be on your toes. And a real slip up from Zoe there. Yorick allowed them that. In his mind, he said, I'm going to do this for the team. I'm going to give up my life, most likely, but I'm going to pull enough members away so that they can take the Baron. And unfortunately, Excision saying, hey, I get what you're doing, but I'm still going to take the Baron away from you, and I'm going to do it all by my lonesome. And he did. So very, very well played.
Definitely had other plans for that Baron buff. Plans that may just come to fruition.
Just fighting for a little bit of vision here, probably getting ready for the Elder Dragon, as they do have 1 Infernal Drake, but they're looking for a second in the Elder Dragon as well.
Here we see Team 6 Best taking down another tower from lane pick. However, this tower just doesn't seem to matter as much as it gives no gold. Zoe 101 just melted from that shockwave, along with Alistar, even through that Unbreakable Will, as lane pick is forced back off with their tanks, their front line dead. No one left to peel for them.
And this is what I was talking about. You ask how were they supposed to push down turrets, and here's the answer: is Baron.
And this is something that Yorick is not used to. He is forced back to provide pressure for the rest of his team, and the Shen is for first time left alone, and Tango Autismo just melts, completely gone 100-0 under EQ Shockwave from
and this is probably going to be game without Tango Autismo.
This just might be game. MB trying to do his best, gets the kill onto 3-8s. However, the rest of his team is not faring so well. Or are they? Off his US. Oh, showing how much gold that spell push is going. Excision is able to get the last hit. GG for Team 6 Best.
GG for Team 6 Best. It looks like the better team actually ended up on top this time. And even though they were split pushing and the Yorick was doing a lot of work, they just weren't able to pull off the win. GG Team 6 Best. Really trying to show Dominate League that they are the best and that they are Team 6, and that's why they named themselves that way.
Yep. For sure, for sure. Now, as a result, this series will go to all 3 games, as next game we will switch sides when we come back. Team 6 Best back on blue side with lane pick back on red side, seeing if they can repeat the results of the first game.
Alright, well, we're going to take a quick break as we get ready for the second one, and we will get Game 3 underway. I'll see you in a little bit, Eldest.
Alright. Alright, and we are back now for game 3 of the first series of the first week of Risen Dominates. Game 3 between Team 6 Best and Lane Pick.
Yeah, welcome back.
And I must say that was a roller coaster of a game 2.
Yeah, I mean, they had their win condition. They couldn't fulfill it, sadly. Well played by Team 6 by stealing that Baron to finish off
Ooh,
that game.
that's steal.
I feel like that
Turnaround.
Baron could have really made a big difference for ULP, and they might have been able to close out. Obviously, in the hands of Team 6 Best, they had much more of an advantage as the gold was more spread out among the team. So, I guess we'll have seen.
And we are into the ban phase, the first ban phase between these two teams. Twist of Fate first ban has to be a target ban. I do wonder why they don't go for the Zir. And the Jarvan Twitch ban, one target ban, another a general ban.
Yep, they definitely don't want to deal with the Twitch. You could tell in the spectate, especially, as they just never knew where the Twitch was. There was always that, there's always that air of like, oh, he could be here. But it seemed like the Twitch always got the jump on them and was always able to put out enough damage. So they definitely don't want to deal with that again.
York ban, no surprises there. The York putting out as much pressure as 2 or 3 individual members of Team 6 Best.
And the Sejuani pick coming out for Team 6 as they said, hey, this is working for us. We're going to keep rolling with it. As this might be another Baron stealer, so who knows?
As well as the Shen ban from Lane Pick. Shen, just generally, he was able to keep up with Yorick as well as being an overall power pick. Leona and Tristana coming in for Team 6. Oh, I'm sorry, for Lane Pick. This is a switch up from the Alistair of the first 2 games, seeing if my count attack is able to pull off the same Leona's plays as VL Black was.
Yeah, we certainly hope so. It's going to be obviously a little bit different from the Alistar. Not able to really deny anything coming in from the Sejuani, but that's not really doing his job. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, Oriana and Nami, same picks last game.
Yeah, the Oriana worked really well. She was one-shotting Tango Autismo at the very end, like just RW, and that was it.
Definitely forcing a lot of respect. Ooh, and the Talia pickup new for this series. And honestly, if what we saw in All Stars was true, definitely still as powerful as she used to be, considering her pushing her aggressiveness in lane.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And it was banned from every single game from now on. So, game 3, she's left open. Excuse me, I'm so sorry. She's left open this game, so Lane Pick is just gonna pick her up without a second thought.
As well as Tango Autismo off the Azir, perhaps losing a bit of confidence from last game. Strange bans we see coming out from the Malphite and Pantheon.
Yeah, definitely a lot of different bans. I feel like a Pantheon it can snowball a game, obviously, but I feel like it's more of a solo queue pick.
Of course, they're really looking at, they have a shock wave into a tidal wave into a rock wave at this rate.
Yeah.
They want to lose the game on the turn of a button.
Definitely try not to get caught, as you can kind of see here. The Pantheon, definitely with a global ultimate, and then Zac able to gank from, behind walls. So definitely try to get rid of that. We'll see what they're able to do with those bans. I'm not exactly sure if they're target bans. Actually, it might be, since tournament events.
Very strong ban. Very strong champion.
Just so you all actually know, Lane Pick actually have their jungler back, so it will not be Zoe 101. In fact, this time it will be War Bandit 65, so War Bandit is going to be back for this game, showing himself in game 3.
Is that what I think it is?
That's an Amumu.
I do see the Amumu pickup.
That is an Amumu. I don't know.
For a couple, I mean, just for a couple years, it definitely not
What
appearing
are
anywhere.
these picks? Irelia and Mumu?
Aurelia. Ooh, you can really see the pressure getting to these two teams going into their comfort picks, and Ezreal, ooh, just and Ezreal could wreak havoc wherever he goes.
Riot said, "Oh, we're gonna nerf Ezreal," and some people said they nerfed him to the ground. They nerfed his AP or his AD ratio on his Q from 1.25 to 1.1. He still hurts, guys, a lot.
He still hurts.
Yeah, and some people say he falls off after 35 minutes. Oh my, what is this? Ah!
This will be a top lane to watch for sure. My goodness.
Might have to switch on manual mode and just keep it there.
Bristleman, would you like to provide analysis on what we know for the Irelia versus Gods laning phase?
Um,
All right, that was the analysis for Irelia
um,
laning phase, everybody.
uh, never before seen two brand new champions facing off. We have no
Ooh,
idea what might happen. No, I mean there's a lot of possibilities here. Urgot definitely one of those like max health champions that can bully a bruiser. Not as much as a bruiser I think can bully him, especially not Aurelia. She has her W, so even if he gets her low, she'll just stun him
yep.
and walk away. Or
However,
and she can run around or move around with her Q, and it's just I don't know. It's not a pretty lane.
if I am not mistaken, Purge, the main damaging ability for God after laning phase, is not channeled, so it still goes off even if Irelia stuns him.
That's true. I'm just excited to see some shotgun knees. That's all.
Shotgun knees. I do remember we did an analysis in the server on shotgun knees, and it appears Urgot, the size of shotgun knees are about they're the size of cannonballs. Now, when you
Cannonballs?
got cannonballs,
Huh.
when you got a six-legged man coming at you with six cannonballs in each of his six knees and each of his six legs, now you wonder which way do you go? What can you do against this behemoth?
Um, I'm not sure. I guess in this case they've decided to go with a woman with a floating uh, shield sword thing. So
Yeah.
that's what they've picked to do, and we'll see if it works out for them, I guess. But I'm really
All
excited
right.
to watch this lane and see
Ask
what ends up
yourself,
happening.
what will win? You know, the unholy abomination of man and machine, or or an Ionian woman with a floating stick.
I'm really
We will
seeing a
find
lot
out.
of I'm really seeing some really nice picks coming in though. Mumu Talia. That has some potential.
That does have some potential. Telia, with the Leona, with the Amumu, and even with the Urgot, those are some knockups that you just are given to you right into your face.
If the Amumu, I feel like the Tristana Leona could be a very strong kill lane.
Yeah. And what happens is even if Ezreal does use his Arcane Shift after Leona would stun him, or Amumu would snare him, he still gets snared for that duration, just slightly out of place. Now if Talia can just walk up to that Ezreal, he's gone.
Yeah, that's one dead Ezreal, but it really comes down to the sustain in the lane. So they're going for the kill lane. So what they're gonna probably need to do is poke him low enough, or Nami low enough, so that they can actually kill them. But is Nami gonna be able to allow that poke, or are they gonna have to go for to? Are they gonna have to do a 100-0 all in? And
Ooh,
how much will they have to rely on the Amumu? So these are all things you have to kind of watch. Bot lane's gonna be really interesting to watch. Mid lane it's just gonna be one of those wave clear lanes in my opinion. I
yeah,
don't
for
really
sure.
see a lot of action going on in the mid
I'm
lane
looking
at the
for that
moment.
Weaver's Will to really make that action happen in the other lanes.
Yep, yep,
But the action certainly will not happen within their lane.
yep. No, they get rid of the Pantheon. They got rid of the Zac. But you can't get rid of that wall.
Ooh,
So, guess we'll
you
see.
cannot get rid of that wall indeed. Yeah, like you were saying about the Nami,
Mhm.
it is really up to that Nami to stop Leona because other than Leona, what true engage do they can they really get at the far range? You know, I'm talking very far range. Amumu's bandage has 1100 range, however Leon is all slightly longer than that. And in this against an Ezreal, against an Orion, range matters.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
It's really gonna come down to the. It's really gonna come down to the Talia poke and how much damage she can put out with that. Urgot is definitely one of those close range, get in your face kind of champions.
Oh,
And I
for
feel
sure.
like if he's in the middle of a fight, he's gonna have he's gonna make an impact. But if he's not in the middle of a fight, I don't know. I really don't know what to say. I haven't really seen an Urgot get really ahead. I'm not saying that that will not happen, but I haven't seen him get ahead in a really long time.
Here's what to notice for in this game. I'm looking for the Leona CC combo into the Talia, Unraveled Earth seismic shove knockup into just Urgot. Fear beyond death, just pulling him in just one swift motion. That's something to watch for. Really one of those highlight plays.
So, just looking at the stream right now, which of these champions would you like to see Urgot just eat up?
Which one would I like to see eat up?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, which one do you just want ground up in his belly?
Ooh, now that's bringing out dark side to this.
It is bringing out a dark side.
Ooh, personally, I just personally would like to see him eat up Ezreal. Getting that tricky spell thief, getting that. Ooh, one big headache of a champion right now.
Yeah.
Not to say I have a personal grudge against Ezreal. I'm not sure if you can tell.
Oh yeah, no.
I would really love to see Ezreal being cut to pieces. If you get what I'm saying.
Yeah. Now I'm gonna cheat a little bit. I said on stream, so there's another champion on stream that isn't in this pick ban, and that's Zoe. She can, she's becoming a real problem. So if Urgot wants to just kind of remove her from the equation, I'd be okay with it.
All right, you heard it here first. Our streamer is under threats from one of our casters. We cannot be certain if the stream will last any longer.
I mean, she might just one-shot me. What can I say?
All right. Ooh.
No, but it's definitely shaping up to be an interesting game. I feel like the split push is gone. They don't really have that, so lane pick has to kind of go with a different approach here.
Urgot may have better. After a certain point, Urgot may have a better fights than Irelia, but Irelia can certainly carry you and can certainly carry the game.
Mm-hmm. And that's for certain. Yep. So game is loading in currently. So we will be in the game very shortly, and I guess we will see how this game turns up. So I guess the last thing to ask is, as we start game 3, who's your pick for taking the series? Is it a lane pick, or are you gonna go with Team 6 best?
Ooh, no. Now, if you asked me this question last game, I would have gone with lane pick, with this draft. But seeing that fighting spirit that Team 6 best pulled out, I'm certain they are able to pull off something, pull a rabbit out of the hats. Pull.
Mm-hmm.
Just plus the Ezreal is such a powerful pick right now. Can really just keep lane pick at bay. Maybe just get to a point where Team 6 best can fight back if they do get behind.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go with Team 6 best as well. I'm not a big fan of the comp that was drafted by lane pick, but again, that's just me. Obviously, a lot can happen in a game. Mistakes can be made. So I guess we'll just kind of have to wait and see.
All right, we'll wait and see if mistakes will be made from the side of Team 6 best or the side of ULP.
All right.
These two comps, both. Yeah, you said it perfectly. These two comps, really great for punishing mistakes. Really great for punishing if you are just out of position even by an inch, because if you give that inch, they will take a foot.
Alright, looks like... Oh boy, it looks like a lane pick has decided they want to maybe go with a quick invade. Does look like Sejuani's on that side, and they might have already been spotted, so... Ezreal does spot them out, is going to move very quickly, drop a word, and they now have a little bit of vision there.
A little bit Teemo coming out of side of lane pick. Really just showing, good move, good place. Really respecting, each side is respecting their respective respect.
Yep, now all of them are now heading back to lane, just kind of deciding to head on back. Urgot taking that ward, so he's got an extra 10 gold in his pocket. That's going to make a huge difference from now on, so keep your eye on Urgot as he snowballs out of control with his 10 gold.
Yep. You're going to see that 10 gold turn to 20 gold, turn to 3 gold. It's going to go faster than Bitcoin, I tell you that.
Oh, yeah. But will it be an ancient coin? That's the question.
Ooh. Now that you mention it, we have not seen ancient coin getting picked up this game. Or last game, or if I remember correctly, the game before. Both teams really going for that melee support or supports that can really use the spell thieves. Ancient coin seems to have fallen out of favor.
Yeah, absolutely.
Alright. Both teams level 1 so far, pretty quiet, no one going for any crazy level 1 plays. Ezreal is using that poke though, getting some early, hoping for that early potion to come out, hoping for that early gold.
Oh, and he's already got one. It looks like it's going to be a rage potion, so he's already got a couple of extra little things there. Already pops the red potion, and he's got that extra AD in his pocket right there. That's 30 AD.
It does seem to have an extra health potion as well. It is, from what I can tell, 10 adaptive power, so in this case AD, plus 1 per level, so it will be 12 AD now. Great in the early game, equivalent to another longsword worth of combat power.
Right. The Office US doing what he can with Urgot, but really a little slippery at the moment.
We also do see that even when he's only behind by 5 CS, Professor Chaos, we do see Ecliptomancy coming into work. Behind by 5 CS, but he is only behind by another 50 gold, where he should be behind by 100. Really just help him keep up in this poke heavy lane from Leona and Tristana.
Oh my goodness, and the damage coming out from the Urgot. Big damage, but the Sejuani does look like she's getting ready for a gank. So I guess we'll see what ends up happening.
Sejuani gank does come in. Gets 2 stacks off the Permafrost, 3 stacks. However, the flash away from Urgot is enough to keep him alive. Flash for the flash trade, in the end, nothing happens.
No, but that is a flash away from Urgot, so if Sejuani can come back in the next 4 or 5 minutes or so, she's going to have a nice little gank on her hands, because Urgot is not the most mobile of the champs.
Oh, for sure. And it looks like Irelia is looking for to just go in 1v1. Sejuani's here and gets the flash in, gets the Q, gets the E, looking for the next basic attack, and finishes him off. I am a little bit behind, and it seems the Office US is as well when it comes to the position of the jungle. Ooh, landing seismic shove from.
Oh, and Tingo Autismo gets the.
Forced to burn the PO. Office US does teleport back in, putting the pressure back onto the Irelia, who has not backed yet, and has no more charges on her corrupting potion. So she'll be forced to back, and will have enough gold for a Sheen. There it is.
And that's just something you have to really think about when it comes to the corrupting potion buy. It's just it's a very effective item. I mean, you've got 3 charges, and although it's 500 gold, you've got it every time you go back, which in a lane like Urgot's can be quite often, especially when you're going melee versus range. So
back to that low engage in mid lane, we see why Italia has been banned out first 2 games. Autismo showing this champ pool is wider than just a Azir. Now I really go in on the Urgot, however Urgot pushes back, gets down, I believe, 4 of his 6 shotgun knees. putting down
Mhm.
tremendous early game damage for just Doran's blade.
But is it worth it? Let's. Oh, we'll take a break here real quick.
We see Warband going in, gets the cursed bandage, and looks like my count is not done yet. Gets himself in using that solar Zenith blade. Does not go any further as his shield daybreak was not up.
As you can see, the Office US may have used his shotgun needs, but look at how much mana he has right now. He's running dangerously low, and he can lead to a very bad trade as he's very pushed up right now, and Aurelia does have that pressure and does have the mana for it. So.
Right. Back to the King Balling. Just VO Black going further than he seems that he should have. Face check to the bush, sees a Mumu not 2 feet away from him, and the Mumu sees him back.
Great vision by Mumu though. I mean, he saves his bandage for after the stun. That way, when he is stunned, he's still able to land the bandage and take the stun on Nami. So great vision from Mumu and great decision making and patience as well. So. I'm just battling a little bit over vision in the river.
Alright, back to farm.
Yep. This time we got
a.
Go ahead.
Ooh. I'm sorry. Alright, blue goes over to the Talia. Gold seems to be a little bit closer than it was at this point before.
Oh, absolutely.
The lanes for Team 6 Best are not being pressured as much as they were last game or the game before that.
No, absolutely not. In fact, the junglers are actually dead even, it looks like, in gold. And the once crazy top lane advantage is no longer here in this game. So definitely one of those that you have to watch out for.
Ooh, Shockwave goes down to Tango Tismo for the poke. It seems that 3-8 wants to continue this. Tango Tismo backs out. Gets the seismic shove in and forced to pop both summoners. Bandage toss misses. 3-8 also forced to gets the long range fear beyond death. Urgot fears no man and fears no robot.
Oh my goodness, and just takes the Orianna and eats her alive. Some champions poke from long range, Urgot devours from long range. What a good play from that Urgot.
No. Just what a champion to look out for, you know, you just 1 second, you know, the fight's over, both teams have no summoners, have no spells up, and out of nowhere comes this long range missile that just buries into you, and I cannot go further or else Twitch would ban me for inciting violence.
And actually, as we can see in the bottom lane, a green ward comes out for the Ezreal. So that's what actually you're seeing in the bottom lane brush right there. That's actually a green ward that he placed down.
Great throwback. I miss screen wards. Good times.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Miss when you could buy those.
Oh yeah. I did play support back then, and it was great to know what your build is going to be for the next 30 minutes. You get a couple of gold generation items and wards, you know.
Yep,
it's all planned out for you. I could just focus on my mechanics back then.
Yeah, now it's just so different now. It's righteous glory. It's.
Ooh, you see Aurelia going in, pops the Transcendent Blades, tries to get the damage onto Urgot, pops 1, 2. Only 2 shotgun needs in this battle, and however, it seems that was enough damage to trade back onto the Aurelia. Really, those knees doing massive max health damage. However, since he is up ahead in the elf, I really managed to get the stun down and a little bit of free poke. True Shot Barrage comes down onto my count is hacked, gets a little bit of damage in, however the Eclipse was on, so the damage was not as much as Team 6 Best would have liked.
Absolutely not. Popping those potions, make sure they stay healthy for the laning phase. Still sitting on Targon's Brace at the moment, and just keep getting queued out by Ezreal. Ooh, off his US, having to use a shockwave, or having to use his flash to avoid the shockwave, just to avoid the kill. That probably would have been a kill there at that point. I really would have slowed, and yeah, but able to get away from that.
Excision NA. Ooh, gets the long range Zenith Blade over the wall, gets the shield daybreak as well. Has not used Solar Flare, does not need the Solar Flare. Seismic Shove into the Sejuani is enough to finish it off. My count attack just goes back over the wall with the plants, and lane pick is none worse for the wear after all that has happened.
No, in fact, you know, you say worse for wear, but
really not being able to fight the Urgot anymore.
And that's just a huge damage coming out from the Urgot. You think about that attack speed. Oh my god. Oh, and that's gonna be a kill.
What a champion! Just the threat of that ultimate keeps Irelia under tower, just frozen with respect. One might even say to the Urgot.
Wow. Urgot is definitely proving to be a better pick than I thought it was going to be. Definitely being executed very well.
Best not to count Team 6 Best out yet, though. See, from last game, we see that they are able to pull it back.
Oh, they definitely are. At the moment, they're about 2k gold down, roughly, and a lot of that gold is in the hands of Tango Tismo and Urgot, in fact. So I did mention before that you know, top lane gold lead wasn't going to be, you know, super crazy. And it's not crazy, but it's about 700 gold difference. So...
You see Tango Tismo getting hit by a shockwave, decides to back off, does not go for the seismic shove. Solar Flare misses. Tango Tismo throws another rock into Zenith Blade, gets the shield daybreak. Misses. Ooh, and the seismic shove misses. Warbandit gets the ult down at the very furthest range. Existent NA may just be a little bit too far for his liking, and dies for his troubles. Irelia TP's in, cannot get anything done as she doesn't even have a completed Triforce. It seems that lane pick are looking at the turret, however Irelia has other plans, gets the damage down onto MB, still has massive one-person damage. Ooh, a great kill onto Warbandit, was not able to get himself out, and Mike keeps on going, gets the heal out from MB. Professor Chaos is just poking the backline for free, does not have the Triumph, so he will die after he trades himself for the Tristana.
Look at my account is hacked. Just look at how much health and mana he has. Fighting until the bitter end, until he can do absolutely no longer, and still does not give up his life. Great job as Leona just putting up the CC.
Now, as long as Leona has those cooldowns up, you know, the pressure she can exert just by being in your face, threatening that stun, threatening that snare is just too much for Team 6 Best to keep up with.
Now, again, what was once a 2,000 gold lead about a minute and a half ago is now almost 4.5 in the span of a minute. So definitely something for them to watch out for, as these team fights are not quite going Team 6 Best's way.
It seems that currently they do not have a redeeming lane like they had last game, where the Orianna was able to keep up with the Azir. This game is each lane is just trying the best not to completely flounder. Yo, Black goes for a ward clear.
Yeah, and is respected by the...
Yeah. One bad is here though, however shows his face, so really knows that the trick is up, the jig is up. Professor Chaos going for low bit of hits, however MP gets that static shift crit off one basic attack, enough to match all the poke that Professor Chaos has put out.
And just in the nick of time too, if you think about it. Excision was coming down there. You had the Oriana roam as well. It was just bad news if any of them had gotten caught by an ACC. So well played and nice fleet footwork there.
Fleet footwork indeed. 3A goes down for a little bit of poke on MB. Does not try his luck at the shockwave, however, and MB is able to get out with a rocket jump. Excision, however, is providing pressure. VO Black is caught out with just a bandage toss, and his life is gone. Office comes in, has the Fear Beyond Death, looks for Excision NA, and pulls him in. However, he dies before the pull completes. Gets a two-man route onto Team 6 best, and Tango Autismo just cleans house. In the meantime, Irelia continues her vigil in the top lane.
What was once a 4-man potential dive turned into an ace for the side of ULP. Lane pick exerting their dominance in their team fight, complete with the Urgot, complete with the beautiful ult on the side of. And Tango Autismo putting out the damage, kiting very well. May not be enough though.
Ringmaster does go in for the kill, however, the great seismic shove takes Irelia off the Talia long enough for the Talia to finish off with another rock.
And Talia now with red buff. Yeah, Tango Autismo is not the first person I would give red buff to. So, yeah, not great news there.
Yep, this is indeed a 604 Irelia. Not Irelia, my goodness, if it was Irelia, that would be one scarier. It is a 604 Talia, rather. Over 3,000 gold ahead of lane power. And just look at that, one thread volley is enough to take VO Black down to nothing. Does not even need the Fear Beyond Death to finish him off. Office US getting the Purge down onto Excision NA as well as a toss. Looks for the ultimates. And finishes him off with another thread volley.
I totally understand why the Talia was banned now. I am completely understanding of that fact. Talia is just doing way too much damage to pretty much everyone at this point.
For sure. Now you see why these bans were done in the way they have.
Yeah. And Leona sitting there making sure that there's no way for them to steal that. Oh. No way.
Rush comes out a little bit early. However, it was a good try.
Absolutely.
You can see Team Best thinking, why did we give him the Talia, you know? Just... This is a 80% kill participation. You know, ahead by 40 CS, ahead by almost 4,000 gold at this point. Talia providing much more pressure than the Oriana can.
And this Leona, in the hands of My Account is Hacked, is providing quite a bit of a support, as you can see, sitting at 0, 0, and 9. So definitely doing her job there. Of providing assists and staying alive.
Yep.
Will this be a perfect game?
Ooh. Will this be a perfect game indeed? This is definitely what Team Civic's best are trying to avoid. Of course they are looking for the win, but it is slipping away from them faster and faster.
With every engage. Perhaps
lane pick are looking to start up a 20-minute Baron.
A 20-minute Baron may be in order, but or is it gonna be or are they gonna bait it? That's the big question.
Rift Herald is on the Office US. He got a game about a minute earlier from the current time. Still has not used it yet, however, is looking for a pick or just lane to be pushed up before he pops it and gets to the tower.
Ezreal looks like picking up a Rage Potion at the moment. And obviously with Kleptomancy, if you don't know it as of right now, if you pick up an item and your item slots are currently full, you have the chance of, you'll just use it automatically, whatever that is.
Yep.
Not exactly sure how that works with wards in that case.
I believe I believe in that case, the ward, there's no chance for you to get the ward. Or
So you can
I would
rig
have to
the
check.
system.
Not sure if Riot has provided clear cover on that. And they try to go for a 3-man onto the Office US, seeing if they can take down the juggernaut of a spider human that he is. 4-man now, and it seems that the pressure from Excision NA is enough. A great stun onto VO Black into the Solar Zenith Blade into Shield Daybreak. Takes him off cleanly as well as the bot tower.
But again, they took down the Urgot, but at what cost? Lane pick again. Oh, and they're actually starting the Baron! Lane pick doesn't know!
The Baron is actually very low. At best, they will trade an inhibitor. They may not even trade the inhibitor for the
They'll take
Baron
inhib, but
power backs.
they're not taking that inhib though. They're gonna need to back up quickly.
Yeah.
Oh
The Baron
boy.
empowered recall may have just been enough to save the inhibitor.
It definitely was. It definitely was, and now we're seeing the power of the top lane. When you group 3 bot and you don't have any vision around Baron, a Baron at 21 minutes, very possible. And lane pick found that out the hard way.
We are currently in a lull, and reading up on Kleptomancy, if you do receive a ward while your inventory is full, the ward will instead be placed at the enemy champion's feet or as close as possible.
Oh, interesting.
An interesting mechanic, definitely needed though to keep the drop rates on the items balanced.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, wouldn't make a whole lot of sense to rig the system that way, you know. Urgot seems to be TPing somewhere to bot lane to try and save it. And Aurelia. Aurelia does see it and is going to back away as well with her Baron powered recall.
Now, currently Team 6 Best are down 10k gold, but with the Baron buff on them, the gold lead seems to have shrunk to almost nil, with considering the amount of respect that Lane Pick are giving to Team 6 Best. Really just, however, Lane Pick are quite ahead, so Team 6 are just using this to try to
It looks like Urgot will actually go down again. I don't think
he is doing massive damage though, however. Was not able to. And we saw Sejuani fighting like the Rift Herald there.
Yeah, it looks like the Rift Herald is stuck.
Yeah, they were trying to steal it. Alright, great Curse the Stab Mummy into Solar Flare, and Mummy gets out without even so much as a bubble. Rift Herald taken down for nothing except for the pressure that's Excision might have put out.
And all in all, they have taken 0 towers with the red buff. Or with the Baron buff, excuse me.
For sure. It seems that even in the face of Baron buff, the lead that Lane Pick has accrued is simply too much. The Weaver's Wall was enough to get them out of that last tower engage.
Yeah.
However, it seems that Excision is looking to even up the tower score even by the smallest amounts.
Yep, no, I mean that's a valuable turret for them, but again, at what cost? Here they are taking Infernal. They see the jungler top lane, say, hey, they don't have any smite. Let's hope War Bandit can smite this. Sure does. Oh, and the rocket jump to run VO block off.
You can see from that rocket jump how little respect that the Tristana needs to have when her flash is up and when she's ahead by 2,000 gold.
And ahead she is, sitting at 209 farm and 3-1 and 7. She's already got an eye edge, she's got a static shiv, Zerka Creeves already working on her Runons. Or I'm sorry, not Runons, her RFC. Rapid fire cannon. And Tristana still just farming away in top lane. Gonna go ahead and back. She's sitting at 700 gold, so maybe she can buy a little bit more something with that. Don't think she can quite finish her item. Yes, she can, so that's what she backed for. Picks up a control ward as well, as the vision control seems to continue in especially the river.
As we see lane pick just clearing out Team 6 Best jungle, just getting rid of any lasting gold that is on the map that Team 6 Best might have picked up but could not due to the pressure on the map that lane pick is able to put out.
And the fight for the gold, fight for the vision continues.
You see VO Black walking out, good disengage shockwave. However, they really might have gone a little bit too far up in the idea that she may engage back a Weaver's wall to cut off half the team, while MB is just free firing on the backside. However, the command dissonance into command attack takes out the rest of her health, and it seems as though Team 6 Best was able to stave off this attack.
Stave off the attack, but they still have a
great double
Taliyah.
bubble onto
Lots and lots of damage.
However, that is the death of the Aurelia. And it's just up to this Orianna now to stop the rest of a lane pick. Tango Teaspoon looking to get some poke down. Does not get the seismic shove. However, the thread volley just is too much poke for 3-8 to sustain. And they get an inhibitor off this.
They absolutely do.
Decide to back off.
They can rotate up to mid and maybe try to get that inhibitor turret. Probably not. Well, no, they absolutely could. They've got a still lengthy timers on Sejuani. She's coming up in about 5 seconds now. But Taliyah deciding not to risk her perfect games. Already 12-0-5, sitting on Banshees, Morellos, and Leandries. And Sork Shoes on top of that. So maybe looking for a Void Staff after this for maybe some extra damage. You know, I'm not seeing the respect in the itemization. Sejuani, one of the only tanks, not picking up much of any MR. The only MR picked up is Legion of the Aegis, and that's not quite enough, in my opinion.
I'm not... Honestly, in that last team fight, I believe it could have gone better for Team 6 Best, but I would like to talk about that lack of respect, especially from that Aurelia. After that disengaged shockwave from the 3-8s, you know, Aurelia decides to go right back in, perhaps a little bit too far back in.
And
here we see Aurelia a little bit too far out once again. Gets the Regiscorer to go up into Aurelia's face. Does not even need the Fear Beyond Death to finish him off.
But
however,
once again,
we do see a teleport coming in from Urgot though. Does not have the Fear Beyond Death. Great 2-man Solar Flare onto VO Black and 3-8s. 1-man Shockwave is not enough, especially when it's on the tank. Office US is just shredding down everyone right now. Professor Chaos forced to flash and heal out. Tries to get some Mystic shots. Is not enough. And 3-8 is left alone on the map. And a free Baron goes over to the side of lane pick.
Yeah, and I think this actually might be the game. They've already got Super Minions pushing in the bottom side. They're going to already start pushing the top wave in, and if they've got no inhib turret already, if they play this correctly, this actually could be the end of
Alright, they may just decide to just push their way in non-stop. Alright, this is gonna be a tough question, but I'm gonna have to ask. You know, when you are Team 6 Best, when you're down 6 turrets, 17 kills, 15,000 gold, and a Baron buff to top it all off, what can you do?
You know, at this point it's just play defensive. Orianna's shockwaves have been fantastic so far. And I really mean that. They've been really good as far as disengage goes, as far as, you know, just engaging as well. She still has a lot of damage, even though she's only 3, 3, and 4. Not very comparable to the Taliyah at the moment.
Ooh, we do see a true shot barrage into a 3-man shockwave. Great engage by 3-8s. Take down 3 members of a lane pick. However, the offense US is not quite done yet. Pulls in Professor Chaos into nothing. He survives by the skin of his teeth. And an ace.
So remember when I said I wasn't really sure what to do? They knew what to do, and they've done it. That shockwave was definitely the key to that. They bunched up sadly, and they paid for it.
I just have to say, great great execution there. When whoever the shot caller for this team was, I do have to pay my respect to you after that Sejuani out, and to just clear True Shot Barrage, clear Tidal Wave, clear Command Shockwave, and they really could just clean up on these enemies that could go nowhere.
Yep. And there goes the perfect game. She does pick up a Rabadon's Death Cap. That's gonna be immense damage coming out from the Talia now.
We do see Team 6 Best picking up their first dragon of the game. At this point, it's more about denying that 4-dragon Elder Dragon than the pressure that a Mountain Dragon can push out.
Oh, absolutely. Professor Chaos taking his one of his first red buffs of the game, actually, as Tristana seems to have pretty good control of the enemy jungle's red buff. So, but still two inhibs open. They don't necessarily have a split pusher or anybody that can take down inhibs super quickly, other than Tristana, who obviously needs support in order to.
And here we see 2 supers being used. After the last fight, a lane pick really. They realized that they do have to give the respect over to Team 6 Best. They are still capable of losing a team fight.
And Sejuani still not buying much MR at all. I'm not sure about this.
I do have to. What she's doing is it's possible but risky. How other than the Talia, she doesn't suffer much physical damage from pick. Great poke going down onto War Bandit. He does not have the Warmongs like Sejuani has, so he's
not too worried about
keep himself healthy.
Like.
If he does go in, he might pay for it with his life.
You see them threatening the inhib, but at this point, I think there's just too much poke coming out and too much problems, really.
And Weaver's Wall coming out from. I do have to wonder where that Weaver's Wall was meant to go. It seemed a little little bit too soon, a little bit too late. Not quite sure what to make of it.
Well played by NB, sidestepping.
Sidestepping.
Yeah, it's his abilities and making sure he stays alive. Urgot has 5 members of the team coming towards him, but wisely backs off and just keeps the pressure on. As 4 members of the team head down to inhibitor, and if the rotations aren't quick, they actually might take this. Oh, and there it goes.
Glacial Prison onto the Amumu. However, he is tanky. Flashes away from the bubble. Solar Flare misses. Pops the lock of the Iron Solari. However, doesn't manage to absorb any damage with it, as the Office US keeps pushing with the Urgot that is just absolutely massive at this point. No, it doesn't seem. It doesn't matter who you're on, Urgots, Yorick, you're an undead juggernaut, and it takes more than just one person to stop him.
Yeah, and here they are. They have to keep defending.
It seems like the Office US does have a thing for undead juggernaut. Tidal Wave comes out, hits just a Leona, gets the permafrost down. Ooh, flash away from the shockwave, good flash. However, NB without the flash cannot get into the fights, and as a result, lane picks, tanks die without their support, without their carriers able to support them.
And lane pick trades the life of their support and their jungler for the inhib. If they keep this rotation up, I don't know how much gold they have. Actually, we know exactly how much gold they have. Tristana might be able to go back and buy, maybe finish off her Mercurial Scimitar. Oh, and Tristana barely makes it out of there with her life.
Oof. Really just by the skin of her teeth. Really playing with fire there. Or in this case with Nami, playing with water.
That's very true.
All the elements. Just have it out for Tristana at this point.
Tristana seems to forego the Merc Sim and decides to go with a Rage Potion instead. So she's actually sitting on that extra AD at the moment.
looking for that extra combat power right now as the Baron is about to respawn. And it makes sense, you know, she has the extra gold but is not able to complete her turn.
Of all lanes pushing, I feel like top lane with super minions is probably the worst right now for lane pick. As easy to clear and still go to Baron. Would have been really nice to have that bot lane, but Urgot with TP is planning to threaten that at the moment. Oh, they're starting
Start
it.
up that Baron. Excision and he's still around here though, so he's looking for the Glacial Prison, gets it, gets a quick QSS out of NB. However, ooh, they're really is on him now. Really going for it. However, this seismic brings him away. 2-man shockwave. However, NB is still free firing on the backline, gets the Triumph, gets the rocket jump out. 3, I cannot get onto him. Professor Chaos is heading to Ortiz mode, does not have the mana to follow up. And we go down to Urgot. Ooh, there it is.
Sejuani and Irelia fall, and they lose an inhib. This is looking really bad for Team 6 Best.
Yeah.
Urgot
And it seems
already.
both teams are resetting now, but one team has 2 inhibitors down. And
Yes.
for that team, oof.
3-8 is doing everything he can as Orianna, doing a fantastic job. 4, 3, and 10, 299 CS to keep them into this game, putting out that massive damage. Irelia also doing a fantastic job, but not exactly sure. But the peel was just too much for NB and was able to stay alive in that Baron pit.
I do have to give it over to tanks of lane pick. You know that Ezreal not doing as much damage as he would like to with a lane pick's tanks keeping him down, while a lane pick's carries free fire. With the members of Team 6 Best preoccupied with the super minions pushing in base, lane pick gets a free Baron, and it will be their second Baron of the game.
Oh yeah. And they're now going to be pushing with that Baron into the enemy base, pushing down the mid lane. Tristana is going to be a little bit late to the fight, but shouldn't be a problem as they're going to be just trying to push together here.
Here we go. The third game of the first first series of the season about to come to a crescendo here, as both teams are about to square off for perhaps what is the last team fight.
Yep. They're kind of waiting here as they do have super minions pushing in both bottom and top lane. And oh, Office US needing to back. I'm pretty sure he's just going to TP right back in as there's really... Oh! And the TP...
Ooh,
War Bandit
and
did
great
get
Glacial
caught.
Prison comes in. TP comes in. Shockwave only onto one. Trisha Barrage only onto one. A Countess hack goes back in. However, stays alive. Professor Chaos going deep into fight, looking to finish off the support. However, goes too deep for his liking. Suppression onto the Orianna and this series.
This series has
All
come
right.
to an end. It almost seemed like a desperation fight for Team 6
And in
Best.
the end, the series will go over to a lane pick 2-1.
Yep. So, wow, what a series.
What just every single moment of that series, especially last game, you have no idea who would win. You know, kept on your toes the whole time.
Yeah, absolutely.
These two teams really just fighting to the last inch.
Yeah. Well, fantastic casting with you, Althwist.
Right.
We're
As with you.
Yeah, we're gonna go ahead and call it a night. So, because I'm sure you need to get to bed. It's been a long day for you. But
Correct has a long day and a long game.
yeah, well, it looks like ULP has taken the series 2-1. Thank you so much for watching, guys. This has been Brizzleman and Aldwist signing off.
And signing off. Have a great night.
Have a good one, guys.